Hey, so we were supposed to come see you guys over Thanksgiving and make paella, and through nobody's fault except Dan's, that didn't happen. And then Laura and I were about to make paella for dinner tonight, and then we realized we could just put it on camera and put it on YouTube, and like a real live cooking show, most of the prep work has been done in advance. So,
what's in the white bowls?
this is chopped onion. There's a little bit of garlic. That's some chorizo. We'll get to that later. And these are red peppers.
Okay.
Okay. Plop in some olive oil.
How much?
Yeah, this much.
That much?
More or less. Not a lot. And throw in the garlic. And the red peppers. And you can also use roasted red peppers that you get in a jar.
Which is frankly easier, because then you just take them out of the jar and chop them.
Exactly. But we just can't find them around here. If you do that, don't add the peppers until the end. And then you just sort of mix all this stuff in together, get it all coated in the oil. And then maybe just turn the heat down a little bit. Basically what you want is for everything to become kind of soft and the onions to become see-through. And that takes a while.
You can have a little house tour too. This is Frank going into the pantry.
Oh, we'll edit this out. By the way, that's one whole
They might want that.
large Spanish onion, which is about yay big, but a yellow onion or a white onion would do, and one red pepper, and a couple of cloves of garlic. Meanwhile, here we have chorizo, which I'm guessing actually Kara probably wouldn't want, but for the sake of authenticity, we're using it, and you can buy it in supermarkets. I think Goya makes it.
It's like a slightly dry sausage.
Yeah, it's a dry Spanish sausage.
It's quite strongly flavoured, so if you weren't going to use it, you might want to increase the amount of salt, garlic or onion that you put in it, because it's quite a strong flavour.
Cook the chicken, which is just plain old chicken breast, cut in little chunks, bite-sized chunks. That way you don't have to actually use a knife and fork and cut them when it comes time to eat. And we've got here a pound of peeled shrimp, which we peeled and took the vein out of the back, because it's not really a vein, it's shrimp poop.
Yeah, you really don't want shrimp poop in your paella. The chorizo's sizzling.
Chorizo's sizzling.
Onions sizzling.
And back here, 4 cups of water are boiling, and they've got chicken stock in them, which you can buy in they come in little cubes. You can just use plain old water. So the chorizo now being more or less done, we're just going to scoop it out of the pan back into a waiting bowl. Basically, we're just going to throw in the chicken for now. We're not going to cook it all the way through, because we'll actually wind up cooking it in the paella, but because the last thing you want is uncooked chicken.
And it tastes better if you get a bit of a sear on the outside too.
Yeah.
Now what are you doing?
Alright. Now we're dumping out the half-cooked chicken. And we're throwing in the shrimp.
If you're going to make this purely with seafood and not with any meat at all, I mean, you could add all sorts of other shellfish as well to it, couldn't you? I wouldn't add fish.
No, not fish.
Like thin fish, but any shellfish would be good. Yeah.
Stirring the shrimp in. Again, we're just giving them a head start. You don't need to cook them all the way through, because ultimately they're going to sit in the cooking rice for 25 minutes to a half hour.
Now what are you doing?
Just taking the shrimp, which are kind of cooked, but
You're
they're
using
not.
a lot of bowls. Who's going to do the washing up?
You are. I'm doing the cooking. Now, first of all, we come here and you can see what we've been doing. This is probably 10 minutes has elapsed here, 10 or 15 minutes. The peppers are getting soft and the onions are pretty much translucent. And back here are 4 quarts of water, which in our case is actually chicken soup. Not 4 quarts, excuse me, 4 cups, has come to a boil. And we will dump it in here. Kick up the heat a notch to get it boiling.
Can't believe you said that.
And then, Vigo yellow saffron rice. Available in Stop and Shop and Swampscott, amongst other places. This is really the secret to paella, because a Spanish grandmother would fumble with herbs and spices and all sorts of secret recipes, and this shit just comes in a bag.
And it's just as good.
So from here on out, we're following the instructions on the back of the bag, which is where the 4 cups of water comes from. You dump in. So now what we want to do is bring the water here to a boil, because it unboils when you dump it in and dump everything in, so that takes a minute. Okay, so as you can see now, the water has come to a boil with all the rice and the onions and stuff in it. We'll throw the chicken in for good measure, and the shrimp, because these are the things that need to actually cook more. Attaboy, Jesus. Jesus is barking at the neighbor's dog. Mix it all in together. Reduce the heat to a simmer, which means barely on. Throw the lid on tightly. Shut up, Jesus. And according to the box, it cooks for 25 minutes. Here's Laura making a gin and tonic. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So you want to check back in a little later. Besides, you want to throw that chorizo or anything else that is already cooked in. We'll throw it in about 10 minutes or so. So about 10 minutes have elapsed. Here, you can see it's less liquidy. We're just going to throw in the chorizo, mostly because I didn't want it sitting in a thick puddle of water. Alright, so I've come back in now and checked it. Ooh, it's getting there. Basically, you just want to keep trying the rice, and if it's crunchy, it's not ready. And if it's mushy, it is. And if it's crunchy and there's no liquid left, you just add more water. Anyway, the final thing you throw in is a bunch of frozen peas. You just take straight out of the freezer. They can actually be icy and hard when you throw them in. And you mix them all in there, as I am doing here. Jesus is just psyched about this. So now it is pretty much done. It's still a little moist, and so I've left the flame on and I've taken the lid off. I'll leave it that way for a couple of minutes just to get all the moisture out of there. And then because it's still early, we're not going to eat just yet, but maybe we'll take some pictures of that later. As for now, because it's only 5:30, poor little Jesus is just going to have to sit here looking really sad and desperate. And I'm going to go across the way over to there and put this on YouTube for you guys. So happy paella.